Imagine quitting a stable, high-paying Wall Street job to sell books on the internet. In 1994, when almost nobody had a credit card online. Imagine your parents investing their life savings into your insane idea, and then watching the first few years lose money every single quarter. Imagine being called Amazon bomb by the press, a joke, a disaster waiting to happen. Now imagine that same man 25 years later becoming the richest person in modern history. Not by mining gold or drilling for oil, but by obsessing over something as simple as customer service. One-click ordering, 2-day shipping, a website that remembers what you like. And then, after building an empire that delivers everything from diapers to bulldozers, imagine him saying, "That was just the beginning. Now I want to live in space." This is not a story about a saint. Jeff Bezos is demanding, competitive, and famously difficult to work for. But this is also a story about a very specific kind of hope. The hope that says, it is always day one. The future is not something you wait for. It is something you build. Welcome to our channel. Today we are telling the story of Jeffrey Preston Bezos. And by the end you will understand that hope is not about being safe. It is about being willing to be misunderstood for a very long time. Jeff Bezos was born on January 12, 1964 in Albuquerque, New Mexico. His mother, Jacqueline, was a teenager, only 17 years old. His biological father, Ted Jorgensen, was a circus performer and unicyclist. The marriage lasted less than a year. When Jeff was 4, his mother remarried a Cuban immigrant named Miguel Bezos. Miguel was tough, loving, and hardworking. He adopted Jeff. Jeff later said, "Miguel is my father. Not biology, character." From a very young age, Jeff was a tinkerer. He took his crib apart with a screwdriver when he was a toddler, because he wanted to see how it worked. He set up an electrical alarm system in his bedroom to keep his younger siblings out. He took apart every appliance in the house. His grandfather, Lawrence Guys, was his greatest teacher. On his grandparents' ranch in Texas, Jeff learned to fix windmills, lay pipes, and rebuild tractors. His grandfather told him, "You can do anything if you decide to learn how." Jeff never forgot that. In high school, Jeff was a valedictorian and a star student. He told his classmates, "Space is the future. Humanity should live on other planets." They laughed. He didn't mind. He went to Princeton to study physics. He switched to computer science. He graduated summa cum laude. Wall Street came calling. By 25, Jeff was the youngest senior vice president at a hedge fund. He was brilliant, rich, and bored. He had an idea. A wild idea. An idea that everyone told him was impossible. In 1994, Jeff Bezos read a report that web usage was growing at 2,300% per year. He sat down at his desk and made a list of 20 products he could sell online. The first was books. Why? Because there were millions of titles. Because a physical bookstore could only stock 200,000. Because a digital store could stock everything. He took his idea to his boss at the hedge fund. His boss listened and said, "Jeff, it's a good idea, but it would be a better idea for someone who doesn't have a good job already." Jeff thought about it. He later created what he calls the regret minimization framework. He imagined himself at 80 years old looking back. What would he regret more? Failing at an ambitious idea? Or never trying at all? He said, "I knew that if I didn't try, I would regret it every single day of my life." Most regrets are acts of omission. The things he didn't do. I didn't want to be haunted. He quit the best job he ever had. He told his boss, "I'm going to start a company selling books on the internet." His boss took him on a long walk in Central Park and tried to talk him out of it. Jeff smiled and said no. He moved to Seattle. He wrote the business plan on the drive across the country. He named his company Amazon because he liked that it started with A, and because the Amazon River was the largest river in the world. He wanted the largest bookstore in the world. Amazon started in Jeff's garage. The desks were old doors propped on 2x4s. The servers hummed so loud they needed space heaters to keep them from overheating. The first few orders came in from friends and family. Then strangers started buying. The first growth moment. When a single person bought a book Jeff had never heard of from a state he had never visited. He realized, this works. The internet connects people to things they didn't even know existed. Jeff was obsessive about customers. He put his email address on the site. He read every complaint. If a customer had a bad experience, he would forward the email to the responsible employee with a single question mark. Everyone feared the question mark email. He also built something radical: one-click ordering. He patented it. Competitors were furious. Customers were delighted. Amazon went public in 1997. The press was skeptical. They called it Amazon bomb. For years, the company lost money. Jeff refused to turn a profit. Instead, he reinvested every dollar into lower prices, faster shipping, and better technology. Wall Street analysts called him reckless. One asked him, "When will you stop losing money?" Jeff said, "We are not losing money. We are investing in the future." When the dot-com bubble burst in 2000, Amazon's stock fell from 107 to 7. Analysts predicted Amazon would go bankrupt. They called it Amazon toast. The New York Times wrote a long article titled, "Amazon, the bookstore that ate itself." Jeff gathered his leadership team. He did not panic. He did not fire everyone. He said, "We are going to survive because we are obsessed with customers, not with our stock price." He slashed costs. He closed warehouses. He laid off 1,300 employees, the hardest thing he ever did. And then he doubled down on innovation. He launched Marketplace, allowing third-party sellers to use Amazon's platform. He launched AWS, Amazon Web Services, a cloud computing platform that would eventually become the most profitable part of the company. Most people missed AWS. Jeff had been thinking about it for years. He said, "We have built this massive infrastructure to handle our own growth. Why not rent it out to other companies?" AWS was laughed at. Then it became a $40 billion business. Then it became the backbone of Netflix, Airbnb, and half the internet. By 2003, Amazon was profitable. It never looked back. In 2005, Jeff launched Amazon Prime. The idea: pay $79 a year, get free 2-day shipping on everything. The finance team said, "This is insane. Shipping will bankrupt us." Jeff said, "Try it anyway." Prime members spent twice as much as non-members. They bought more because shipping was free. They had already paid for it. The flywheel started spinning. More customers, more sellers, more selection, lower prices, more customers. Then came the Kindle. Then Alexa. Then Amazon Studios, which won Oscars. Then the acquisition of Whole Foods. Then Amazon became the second company in history to be valued at $1 trillion. Through it all, Jeff kept his famous annual letter to shareholders. Every letter ended with the same words: "It remains day one." He explained, "Day two is stasis. Day two is irrelevance. Day two is decline. Day two is death. We will never reach day two." While Amazon was growing, Jeff was secretly building another company. He founded Blue Origin in 2000, the same year he was fighting through the dot-com crash. He told almost nobody. He funded it with his own money. He said, "I sell billions of dollars of stuff on Earth so I can one day build a future in space." Blue Origin failed quietly for years. Rockets exploded. Engines failed. The press mocked Jeff for moving slowly while Elon Musk's SpaceX was landing boosters. Jeff said nothing. He kept working. In 2021, Jeff Bezos strapped himself into a New Shepard capsule. He flew to the edge of space, 100 kilometers above the Earth. He looked out the window. He saw the thin blue line of the atmosphere. He cried. He said, "You look at the Earth and it is so fragile, so finite. You realize that we have to take all our industry, all our pollution, all our heavy stuff into space. We have to keep Earth as a garden." He stepped back as CEO of Amazon later that year. He went to work full-time on Blue Origin. He said, "I have wanted to build a future in space since I was 5 years old. I am now 57. I am just getting started." Jeff Bezos is complicated. He is famous for his brutal efficiency. He once told an employee, "Are you lazy or just incompetent?" He has been criticized for Amazon's warehouse working conditions. His divorce from Mackenzie Scott was one of the most expensive in history. He is not a perfect person. He does not pretend to be. But the hope in his story is this: he never stopped being that little boy in New Mexico who took his crib apart with a screwdriver. He never stopped asking, "How can this be better?" He never accepted the answer, "It can't." He built a company that changed how the world shops, reads, and computes. And now, in his 60s, he is spending billions to make sure that humanity becomes a multiplanetary species. Not because it is practical, not because it is profitable, but because his grandfather told him, "You can do anything if you decide to learn how." To our audience in the USA, the UK, and Canada, you are watching this video in a world that tells you to be realistic, to lower your expectations, to not quit a good job, to not embarrass yourself, to not try something that might fail. Jeff Bezos is the counterargument. He quit the best job he ever had. He lost money for years. He was called Amazon, Bomb Amazon, Toast and worse. He kept going. Not because he was certain of success, but because he was certain of trying. He said, "If you decide to do something that is ambitious, you will be misunderstood. You will be criticized. You will have to be stubborn. That is the price of doing anything important. If you have an idea that everyone laughs at, if you are in a job that pays well but drains your soul, if you are afraid of regretting the road not taken, think about the 80-year-old you. What will that person wish you had done? Now go do it." If Jeff Bezos' story reminded you that it's never too late to start, hit that like button for everyone who has ever been told that will never work. Subscribe for more stories of wild ambition and stubborn hope. And in the comments below, what is the one idea you have been too afraid to try? Thank you for watching. It remains day one. Fade to black. A rocket engine ignites. Soft, hopeful strings. We are stubborn on vision. We are flexible on details. Jeff Bezos.